Hello, this is Cantor David Anderson from St. Mark's Lutheran Church in Asheville, and I'm speaking to you today from my solarium in effulgent Otine, North Carolina. Today is July 28th, when we remember the life of Johann Sebastian Bach on an episode we're calling Johann Sebastian Bach was born in 1685 and died 270 years ago today. Something was in the air in the late 17th century, as within a span of 4 years were born not only Bach, but Domenico Scarlatti, Johann Mattheson, Georg Philipp Telemann, Jean-Philippe Rameau, and Georg Friedrich Handel. The youngest son of a large family of musicians, Bach spent most of his life in what is now central Germany. In his time, he was best known as a performer and music director, but is now widely considered the greatest composer ever. A devout Lutheran, Bach inscribed almost all of his music with the words Soli Deo Gloria, or Alone to God the Glory. His working library was one which, Robin Lever writes, many a pastor in Bach's day would have been proud to have owned, and his copies of the Bible and commentaries include many notes in his own hand. He wrote an astonishing amount of sacred music, including masses, instrumental works, and a cycle of cantatas for the Sundays and principal feasts of the church year. Bach was also deeply involved in what we might consider secular music, and he even wrote a cantata about coffee, a hot topic in early 18th century Leipzig, which some pietists considered a dangerous and reprehensible vice. Some of his music that you probably know include the 6 cello suites, Jesu Joy of Man's Desiring from his cantata for the Feast of the Visitation, Prelude and Fugue in D minor, and his 4-part hymn harmonizations, which are still sung in churches today. While Bach was undoubtedly a devout man, he could also be somewhat cantankerous. He once drew his sword on a bassoonist, though probably in self-defense. He went absent from a job for 4 months to visit a famous organist when he'd only been given 4 weeks of leave. He was often at odds with the Leipzig town council over money and resources, and he was even imprisoned for an entire month by one of his early employers. In these and other glimpses at his personality, it's comforting to realize that this most exalted composer was also decidedly human. To close, here's a piece from his Orgelbuchlein, literally Little Organ Book, a set of chorale preludes, that is, organ music based on hymns, arranged according to the church year. In addition to being a set of compositions, it was also intended as an instruction book, to show what could be done with hymn tunes on the organ. This is his setting of Jesus Christ lay in death's strong bands, an Easter hymn that is found in our current hymnal at number 370. I think you'll find this is an exciting and powerful representation of the joy of the resurrection. Thank you so much for watching today, and I'm afraid it's happened again. You've squandered another perfectly good 5 minutes on... He was frequently at odds with the Leipzig... Let me just try that whole thing again.